welcome to this edition of the Eagle's Eye right here on AUTV 20. I'm your host, Carrie Smith, and right now I have the pleasure of sitting down with Emily Huestis, Executive Director of the Ashland Center for Nonviolence here on campus. Emily, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So starting off, let's talk more about this Ashland Center for Nonviolence, what it stands for as an organization, its mission, and some of the commitments that you work for on a daily basis.
Great. So the ACN is housed under the College of Arts and Sciences. It has both an academic focus and another foot in the activism world. And so what we want to do is seek alternatives to violence through active peacemaking, whether those are global issues or very, very close and personal issues here in Ashland.
Mm-hmm. And can you talk more about some of the past work and some of the past events that the ACN has done?
Sure. So we've had very huge speakers come to campus, everything from one of Dr. King's daughters, Yolanda King, came to campus. One of Gandhi's grandsons came to campus. And we also do a lot with education and peer mediation.
Mm-hmm. And so some of the events that you have this semester, one of the bigger ones that's coming up recently, or in the next couple weeks or so, is the writing and digital composition contest that you have with centered around MLK Day. Can you talk more about that and the theme of that contest? It's pretty interesting.
Yes, thank you. So working with the WCC, the Writing and Communication Center here on campus, we're offering a composition competition. There is a written portion, and there's a whole rubric for that, and then there's also a digital portion. There's actually, it's two competitions, and there's $200 cash prizes and publication opportunities and presentation opportunities for both winners. So we welcome everything from an essay to spoken word to a podcast to a radio play. We really wanted to open up the medium. Mm-hmm. I should say the media, to welcome students and with interest from all over campus to really dive in and to delve into the ACN's conference. Our February conference theme is called Satyagraha, which is an uncommon word. We don't hear that often, but it's actually active nonviolence in the Gandhi tradition. Mm-hmm. So how can we whether it's corporately or whether it's individually, how can you bring about active peacemaking in your life? Mm-hmm. So it's a very broad topic, but also gets it to the root and the tradition of active peacemaking.
And through this competition, there's, as you said, there's so many different ways that people who are competing can explore Satyagraha through, essay writing, podcast, video. What do you hope people who are competing in this competition get from this theme?
Great question. A little bit of the history of peace movements and how powerful they are. Gandhi led one of the largest countries in the world into its independence peacefully, which is radical. Mm-hmm. And then in that same tradition, taking his mantle, Dr. King was at the helm of leading the ongoing civil rights movement in the United States, and did that peacefully, despite very stiff opposition, despite the greatest militaries in the world. Right. These men and their compatriots were up against. So yeah, it works.
It does, definitely. So another big event that you're having this semester, which is making a comeback after being off last year due to COVID, is the John D. Stratton Conference, and it is also centered around Satyagraha, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so can you talk more about that event and the keynote speaker for the event?
Very good. So we're delighted to be having the ACN conference come back. It's named in honor of Dr. John Stratton, who was a professor here and a dean for a while. He actually founded ACN in 2003, 2004. We're grateful to be having the conference come back, and publishing has come from this conference. So lots of wonderful things have happened under the leadership of Dr. Craig Hovey. Mm-hmm. And this year, our conference is Satyagraha, Nonviolence in the Gandhi King Tradition. We have speakers from all over Ohio coming, and even from New York. Dr. David Ragland from the Truth Telling Project, he'll be joining us, and his work centers a lot with the work and the history of things that have happened recently in Ferguson, Missouri. And so to be very relevant to movements in the United States recently, and very interesting conversations to be had.
Absolutely. And is the conference, is it open to anyone in the Ashland community, not just on campus?
Right, anyone can join the conference, and there's a nominal fee that covers lunch and a bunch of snacks and goodies. The keynote with Dr. David Ragland will happen Friday the 25th, and that's free and open to the public. And then the all-day conference that's multidisciplinary, that'll be the 26th. And I think I have my dates right. Yeah, the registration's open now. So if you go to ashland.edu/ACN, you can sign up.
All right, cool. And if our viewers want more information about the Ashland Center for Nonviolence, the composition contest, the John D. Stratton Conference, where can they go to find more information?
Great question, Carrie. So again, that same URL, ashland.edu/ACN, has links to all of that. And we have an active Instagram presence too, so look us up.
All right, well, thank you, Emily. It was a pleasure to get to speak with you about this exciting and rewarding contest the ACN is holding with the Writing and Composition Center, and the great work the Ashland Center for Nonviolence is doing not only in the campus community, but also the Ashland community and beyond.
Thanks. Can I plug one more thing?
Absolutely.
Really need to mention that the WCC, the Writing and Communication Center, they have coaches available, peer coaches. So if you have an idea or you want to explore something around this theme of nonviolence or active peacemaking, and you want to make a piece of art or a literary piece, and you want someone to help you polish it, there's free resources here on campus at the first floor of Bixler. Come on down and people can help you.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much for coming and joining me.
Thank you.
This has been another edition of the Eagle's Eye right here on AUTV 20. Be sure to follow us across social media at AUTV 20. I'm Carrie Smith. Thank you for watching.